Welcome to Choose Life International's webinar room or platform. We are so very, very glad that you have made it here today. You could have chosen to spend your time elsewhere, but you are here with us today, and we are very happy to have you. My name is Vanetta Mali, and I am sitting in for Dr. Donovan Thomas. What a thing! Anyways, it is my joy to welcome you to this evening's program. This is a first for us on this platform. We are going to be talking about books for children today, because this is Child Month and we want to do something to honor our children. Before we get there, though, I would like us to pray. Let's just put this evening's proceedings into God's hands. Lord, thank you so very much for another opportunity of serving you in this way.
No.
And thank you for these, your servants, whom you have found, you have called, and you have designed to be on this platform today. You always have a plan. And so the reason for them being here today, Lord, we know it is good, because all that you do is well done. Thank you for the inspiration that they will be today. Thank you that this program itself will be today and in the days to come an inspiration to those who will listen. Lord, we commit the internet to you. We commit our devices to you. We ask that tech angels come to help us to sort through the technical glitches that we're having. And Lord, just allow us one more time to have a smooth, flowing evening. Let your will be done. Let your name be glorified. And we thank you for doing it. In Jesus' precious name, we have prayed. So Dr. Thomas would tell you that this is webinar 300 and plenty. I don't have the figure in my head. If they're hearing me, please put it in the chat so I can tell the people this is webinar 300 and whatever it is. We have been meeting here in this fashion, as they'd say in Jamaica. We've been meeting in this fashion since COVID. And what we thought was going to be a program for the duration of COVID has now lasted over 300 and plenty sessions. And we thank God for the opportunity to have been a blessing in people's lives every Sunday afternoon at this time. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? This is what it is. And today we have, I believe, an exciting program for you. We have two authors of children's books. We have Dr. Annette Thomas Joseph, and we have Pastor Brian Lewis. Javon will tell you who these people are, but they have written children's books. And I didn't even know that children were still reading books. But I guess my notion will be corrected this evening. These people are gonna sort me out. And anybody else like me, I thought that this is the world of social media and everything for children has to be delivered through that medium. But I stand corrected. I stand corrected. And I, like you, whoops, this is webinar number 388. Oh my Lord, do you mean to say that we have been here 388 Sunday afternoons? This is fabulous. God has been good. Thank you for joining us here. Send out the link, get others to come and be part of what God is doing. We have a young man here with us this evening. Jevon, I am going to have to let you tell me about you because your bio is not in my hands. Jevon is from my birthplace, Brownstown, St. Anne, Jamaica. And Jevon is one of the youth leaders in what I know as the Brownstown Tabernacle Church. I know it have fancy name, but it's Brownstown Tabernacle Church. I knew it as. And since we are in Youth and Child Month, we thought it would be a really good idea for a young man to be the moderator of today's program. And so I would like to, Jevon, would you unmute, please, and tell me something about yourself so I could tell the people who you are?
Yes, good afternoon,
Not hearing
everyone.
you.
Not hearing me?
You have to increase the volume.
Hold on.
Talk to me in the meantime, so we'll know.
How is it now? Better?
It is
I'm hearing
still
you.
low.
Just go and talk a
Hear me?
little louder. I'm hearing you.
Okay.
Oh, it's my fault. It's not you. I have.
Oh, okay. So
Yes,
it's
yes,
good
it's
now.
my fault. It's my fault.
All right.
Yes. Yeah, so
Yes,
tell me about you, Jevon.
yes. So as you would have mentioned a piece of it from while you were speaking. Yes, I am in Brownstown. I do attend Brownstown Tabernacle Church. I'm a member of the Brownstown Tabernacle Church where I serve I serve in the men's ministry and I also serve in the youth ministry as well. I serve as the vice president for our youth group. We do many activities with the youth. We try to get them to facilitate their spiritual growth and development. I work at Brownstone Community College and I am currently pursuing a bachelor's degree theology at Jamaica Theological Seminary. So that's that's a little bit about me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are a JTS student. There are some people on here who come from JTS too, eh? You know them, you know them. And
Yes, yes.
yeah. Yes. Congratulations. I'm so glad to hear what you are doing. And so this
You.
evening, you have the privilege of talking to these two authors. I look
Yeah,
forward to how you're going to handle this session today and make sure to take everything you can from them.
right. I will. I'll try to. Yes.
So I'm handing over to you now, Jevon, to introduce to us Dr. Annette Joseph or Annette Thomas Joseph, because I have a Dr. Annette Joseph who is my mentor as well. But so And Pastor Brian is from Trinidad and Tobago. And you will tell us about these two people and take it away from there. God bless you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for that. And as was mentioned earlier, I just want to welcome everyone on the platform this evening. We have a really special show lined up for you. Since we are in the month of May, which is celebrated as Child's Month, we decided that we wanted to do something that is geared towards the children, and we wanted to bring on some child authors to for them to speak about their work and what they're doing to help our children. So we have two very special guests here this evening, and they're going to be sharing what they have been doing to help our children. These persons are Reverend Brian Lewis and Dr. Annette Thomas Joseph. Now, Reverend Brian Lewis is a pastor, businessman, a father, and he is also an author of the book entitled Papa Dove. And I have here a brief description of what the book is about. It says Papa Dove was written to encourage and remind fathers of the vital role they play in both family and society. And this is a very, very important book. You know, we all know about the challenges we face with our fathers. So this is a very, very, very important book. This is a book for the times, really. Book for our time, because this is really needed. We need our fathers to know the role that they play. And our next guest, we have Dr. Annette Thomas Joseph. She is a doctor of education, and she's the author of the book entitled On Mama's Lap. And this, again, description for this book, the stories in this series are written with moral lessons because if the enemy destroys the young people, will be the leaders of tomorrow. Again, another great book geared for our young people. And, you know, we also know the challenges that, you know, young people are facing as well. So these are two wonderful books based on the descriptions that we have here. So I'm going to now asking them some questions. And also, this meeting is for you as well. So if you have questions, please put them in the chat. We would love to hear from you and want to know what you're thinking. And we need your questions because this meeting is for you. So we want to ensure that you are getting information that you need. All right, so I have a few questions here that I have for our special guest, and we can go ahead and begin. So,
Sorry, Dr. Annette, would you put on your video so we can put you in the chat, put you in the forum?
Okay, the video is on. Can you see it? Can you hold on? Trying to. It's Lily's name is still on it.
No, we're not seeing you. But okay, so we're not
Yeah,
able
I'm
to
at the very
see
top.
Dr. Annette, but
We are seeing
she
her.
can hear. You are seeing her?
Yeah.
Yes, at the top. Yes. I can see myself at the top, but
So you
Lily's
need
name
to-
is on it.
Okay, it's on the Lily.
Yeah.
Yes, the Lily. Because I've been having problems with my computer. Yeah, I can see myself.
all right.
Dr.
There you go.
Faith, can you rename this device?
Rename this to Annette, Dr. Annette Thomas Joseph.
Yeah.
Okay, will do.
Okay, thank you.
Go ahead, Jevon.
All right, thank you. So this question I have is for both our guests. You know, I wanted to know what were some of your favorite books as children growing up? Anyone can begin.
Okay, I would like to answer that one. First of all, I just want to mention one thing. I want to say thank you all for allowing me this opportunity this evening to come on this program. I do want to thank Wida for making this possible as well, for pushing me to get this done. I want to thank my family and friends and, all supporters, in this area. I really appreciate that. Growing up, I didn't have favorite books because I should say I didn't really like to read, when I was much younger. I'm being very honest. But as I got older, I decided, hey, the Bible. I really enjoyed reading the Bible stories, going to church, learning all about, David and Goliath and all of these stories. This was my favorite book, I should say. And it still is my favorite book. So.
All right. Pastor.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thanks again for the invite to be on your special program. It was interesting to hear someone else said that they did not like to read when they were growing up. Yeah, so I'm in that same category.
Oh, really?
Okay. I struggled because I just couldn't read, and that's probably why I didn't like to read. But it has been an interesting journey, and as you know, it's a book that speaks on fatherhood, basically. So, yeah, I'm just happy to be with you all tonight, and well, look forward to the rest of the engagement.
All right. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. It's very interesting that both of you guys weren't really big readers growing up. And you're now authors now. It's really, really interesting how things can turn out. So that kind of makes me wonder what made you decide that you wanted to now write books? What made you write these books that you have written now? What was it that happened that you decided that you wanted to write these books?
And for me, I should definitely say, as an educator in the classroom, I've been working in the classroom for the past 20 years as an educator. And we do have a program called the Accelerated Reading Program, where students will come in and they would go back to the library, get another book the next day, test on it, and so forth. So I have seen while I'm in the classroom, I've seen a lot of students, the struggles that they have. And I also can, reflect on some of them not wanting to read or not liking to read. And because of that, and I've seen some of the struggles that they do have, and on account of their issues and their problems, I decided that if I can make a difference, so I can bring some hope to these children, I will write as well. And it so happened that in 2013, I started writing books, and it stayed dormant on my computer for a very long time. And in 2020, it so happened that, I've been asking the Lord, how can I publish these books? What do I need to do? And for some reason, God is so amazing that when I relocated, and one day, nonchalantly, I met this lady. She was walking in the area where I was walking. And apparently she said to me, we just came into a conversation, and she said to me, she was a publisher. And I said, "Oh, are you serious about that?" She's like, "Yes, she's a publisher." And then she told me that she knew someone who is also a very good publisher, and she's a designer as well. And from that's history, in the sense that I was able to work with her to publish my books. And I found an illustrator who is my niece as well. And it's a blessing, I should say. It's a blessing. And she was a blessing to me, reaching out to me to help me with this situation.
Oh. It's kind of interesting that you brought that up, because one question that came to my mind while speaking, I was wondering about the process of getting a book published. We don't really hear about that a lot. We just get the authors come on and they speak about their book. But that is something I always wondered about, the process of getting the book from the concept to getting it physically printed, what it's like, what are the challenges and that kind of thing. And it's kind of interesting to hear you speak how it kind of just lined up for you. You found a publisher and you got to illustrate, and it's very interesting. I wonder if Pass had the same experience, or it was a bit more challenging for him.
Well, I must say, I actually wrote my first book when I was 23 in college. Did not publish it. It was a joke book. I spent a year in writing this book, and had a gentleman from college. He did all the artwork. And it was in those days where you had floppy disk. That was before your time. And it's the same day I had the floppy disk. I had a printed, I had a rough draft, and I was about to go and print it. We're not even at the printery yet. Just making that first copy. I left it in my car and I went to the gym. And I came back for a brief moment and everything was okay. Then I went back in the gym, and 2 hours later, when I came back, someone broke into the car.
Wow.
They stole the floppy disk. They stole the original drawings and writing. And I had to make a decision. Should I cry or should I start to laugh? And so here I am in this gym. They even stole my best silk shirt that I always love to keep. And I'm like, oh man. And so I put up writing for the next 30 years and wasn't bothered with it until one day during COVID, me and my wife were out in the gallery and I saw this dove going on its nest right there in the porch. And I asked my wife, hey, I wonder who sits on the nest. And she said, I don't know. And then the next bird came in real quick and they took turns. And I said, did you see that? They took turns. And I'm like, wow, I need 2 persons to sit on that egg to keep it warm. And I said to my wife, you know what? That is a book, isn't it? And then I looked at it and I said, but wait a minute. No, 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 no. That is a book right there. And I'm like, oh my goodness, that's a book. And I left my wife in the front porch right there. And I started going on right. And for the next 30 days, yeah, I was just working on this book almost for months. I'm working on it, working on the graphics. And so many people read it, change it, edit, did this back and forth. And finally, after how many different back and forth, was able to come up with a finished product. I was able to source the information on how to go and print. Or, you go online and they give you some direction. I was able to find a printer, and so it's self-published. And they work on the barcodes, they work on different things, and they printed the book for me, and there we go. But that book came out of an observation. Who sits on the nest?
Oh.
And I found it profound because I felt that God uses all kind of stuff to teach us. The ant is such an amazing little creature, and we can learn so much from animals. And that's what that came to my mind. Wow, even the birds understood that it takes two to come out with a good egg, and hence come out with children that are workable. So it needs two. So that's how that book came about.
Wow. Wow.
Well, that's really good. It's really, really good. So one of the things that we kind of wanted to know was in terms of the reasoning for your books, was it something that you did you come across like a child or something in your personal life that made you want to write the book, or was it something that you just observed in the general population, what's happening with children, that made you want to write books for children?
I would say that, as I mentioned before, working in the school system, I see children come in on a daily basis. Some have issues about maybe divorce, maybe lying, maybe stealing, maybe, something along that lines. And because of that, because I know the hope that I have, I know the moral values that I have, I felt as though I needed to take that time to teach children. And I just not only have one book, like the very first book I have, which was published in 2020, that book, the title of that book was Truthful Lip or Truthful Lips. That is the title of that book, Truthful Lips. And it's basically telling a story about, it's a realistic fiction book, and it's telling a story about a young boy, two friends doing something, growing up. They knew exactly what they're supposed to do, but they lied about their situation. And at the very end, something jolted the one who was the ringleader. It jolted him to realize, hey, I am doing something wrong. And he turned around. So my books are basically growing up on mama's lap, knowing what is right from wrong, learning about the Bible, and then after making mistakes along the way, and eventually recognizing, hey, I did something wrong. So the first one was Truthful Lips. The second book that I wrote in 2021 is about saying no to drugs. And I see that that's something that I try to encourage, young people not to go in that direction because of what it can do to the brain and the brain cells and the body and everything. I have one little student who actually came to me after reading that book, and she brought me a little plaque from my wall, which I thought was so interesting. And the plaque says, nugs, not drugs. And it's a bunch of chicken nuggets, showing chicken nuggets, and nugs, not drugs. And you bet I have that on my wall in the classroom. So she understood the lesson. And the third book that I wrote, 2024, and was published, is it's Jeffrey, the same little boy, his grandpa, who he loved so dearly. And these are all realistic fiction books. And realistic fiction, the genre of realistic fiction is basically, it can happen in real life. So Jeffrey, his grandpa, was very, very ill. I wanted the kids to know more about what happened during the COVID period. And, there still miracles can happen. Many people passed away. Many people didn't make it. But then there are several people who made it as well on account of prayer. So that last book, Jeffrey's Miracle, is a book that talk about Jeffrey, young guy, still 11, 12, praying for his grandpa. And on account of that, his grandpa made it. So these are little stories as to where they start, the situation that occur in between, and what happened at the very end. Now, I just want to mention something quickly. I'm very thankful to my principal, my past principal and my present principal right now. Apparently, the past principal, when he heard about the books and he read the books, he purchased a few of these books for our school library. And my principal, the principal at this point in time, she encourages the children to read as well. And it so happened that I would see them in the hallway every time, and they'll be going to the library, they'll be getting my books, and they'll be moving back and forth with the books. And I would ask them questions. How did you enjoy the book? Oh, it was fantastic. And one student asked me recently, he said, when are you going to be publishing the next book? So that tells me that they are very interested in these readings. And I'm very thankful to God, and I'm very proud of that we can make a difference in a child's life.
Yes. Yes, and you even kind of started answering another question I have, which is really, really good. And it's really good to hear what that books are still having an effect on children today. Um, well, Pastor, I wanted to find out also from you. You mentioned earlier that you got the inspiration for your book from seeing how doves take care of the egg, and that's really nice. I also wanted to find out if there was something else that you saw that made you decide to write this book for children also.
So I suppose being a pastor and formerly a youth pastor, you will be exposed to some of the social ills in our society. And from a personal standpoint, I'm an orphan. My mom died when she was 26. I was 3 months, and I never met my dad. So all somebody said, I think it was some white guy, and that's all I heard. So I've never really met this individual. I grew up with my grandmother after a couple years of being in foster care. And I've found it has been a challenge. As for me, learning how to, live life sort of fatherless. And God did send different ones in my life to mentor. And I did have a grandfather for the first 10 years. And he died, so I was around 10. And it seemed as every 5 years or 10 years, God will send a mentor. My uncle, who was a pastor, also did a lot. His name was Hubert Joseph. And I found myself being mentored by mostly pastors. That's who seemed to come around. And I look at society and I see the challenges where men won't know how to be fathers because they weren't taught. And absentee father, I mean, it's an ongoing issue. And I felt as if I can make a contribution coming from that background as well. And I felt as if, well, maybe if I could get one or two fathers who seem to be inclined to care for their kids, to reassure them that, hey, this is the right thing that you're doing. And also for those children who do not have fathers, they probably have all sorts of idea what a father should do. Or this book helps that individual, that child, to see, I guess, from through the eyes of doves, what the role of a father is supposed to be. A father is supposed to provide. A father is supposed to protect. A father is supposed to encourage. And so even if they didn't have their own father, they get in a little ideas what a father ought to be. So as a young boy coming up, you don't have to be too ignorant. This book can help guide you as to, hey, what am I supposed to do? Even though it wasn't modeled for you. But was my hope that men will read to their children and will remind them of their duty and to become heroes for their children. So that's the idea behind this book. My kids, when I was writing, I asked, hey, if are they the two kids in the book? I said, well, if you want, you can be. but but I I actually ended up working in foster care. As a foster child, I became a foster care worker, a foster parent. And so I understand the need for fathers to be involved. And that's the issue we have. I think in society, we have a large issue in terms of leadership. So I wanted to throw my 2 cents to assist in that area. That's the reasoning behind, I suppose, other than watching up and seeing the nests and seeing the birds how they function.
Right. And just I like how you how you explain what you wanted your book to be and what you wanted your book to do, because it's really important, because I hear you saying that you want your book to teach like young boys how a father should operate. And I think that's really good, because what happens with like young boys is because they don't have that example, what happens a lot of the time is they look to persons who don't provide the best example of how men should operate. And so I think, right, your book now is helping to try and show them what it is that men and fathers should do.
And let's not forget young girls, not just young
Yes,
boys, young
also
girls.
yes,
Yeah,
right. Don't leave out
because
the girls, right?
in the book, it's a father reading to his daughter and his
Yeah,
son.
yeah.
Because
Yes,
young girls need to know what to expect from a male, or
yes,
what
yes,
they
that's
should
true.
expect from a male,
That's
right?
true.
So it's both for male and female. What I just mentioned that.
Yes, that is, yes. Thank you for that, 'cause that is very, very, very much true. What I wanted to find out from you, and Dr. Joseph started to list some of this stuff. So I guess it's probably I want to hear from Pastor now. It's what when you wrote your book and you published it and persons start reading it and think, what are some of the effects that you see? Like how did this book impact persons' lives and the effect it had on children? I know that Doctor, she shared some. If she has any more examples, she can share them, but I didn't hear from Pastor Louis as it in regarding this. So we want to know what was the impact this book had on the children that you saw or you heard of.
Right. Doctor, you gonna go ahead, or you want me to
Oh,
go?
I thought you were being asked the question, Pastor.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, I don't think I had any sort of deep response from those who read it, except yes, it was a nice book,
Mm.
kind of funny. They like how the characters look. Some of them figure out that some of the graphics, what they were, simple shapes. And one of the kids said, "Wow, that was really creative." I think I heard a 10-year-old say, "Wow, I never knew you could make lightning look like that." And so when you look in the book, the lightning, became the wing in the birds, just like how you maneuver it. And he's like, and he's showing me, he turns it upside down. He said, "You see, that's a lightning, that's lightning." I said, "Really?" And he said, "Wow, that was real creative." I said, "Really? Thank you." So I think most of it seems like fun. You wonder if they understand some of the deeper part in it. I suppose maybe as they get older, they may reflect. But I can't say I've had a lot of response in terms of the impact.
Right.
Can I also mention something at this
Sure.
point?
Yes,
Okay,
go ahead.
so within my books, as a educator in the classroom, I recognize that children often have a struggle with comprehension, vocabulary, and all of these different areas. So, one of the things I try to do is to use some wonderful vocabulary words in those books. And I try to encourage parents to read with their children, because parental involvement is so important. And when a child, when a child can sit or lay and a parent can read a story and explain what a word is, that sticks in the mind of a child. And I see it in my classroom, like when I would read a book and they wouldn't know what the meaning of the word is. I can go to Google and Google that word, and they'll get a clear explanation of what it is. Like I know we were talking recently about houses and roofs and gutters. And one of the kids raised his hand and said, "What is a gutter?" And I said, "Oh, okay. Well, let's look it up. Let's Google it and see what it is." And at the very end of it all, he was able to understand what a gutter is and where it is on the house. So it's so important that to use those vocabulary words, and vocabulary words lead to better comprehension, better understanding. And that is very important for children. And not only that, at the end of my book, I have like 5 questions for critical thinking skills, drawing the critical thinking skills, and ask parents to work with their children, read with them, ask the questions, and get answers. And that promotes better reading, future reading. So these are things that I try to incorporate in my books as well.
Oh, that's very good. And I think what you were saying, it's kind of leading into what the next question I had in mind, because how you speak about your book, you set it up in a way where you kind of help the children along in understanding the words and so. And that's how I wanted to find out how, and it's kind of interesting having both of you here with your backgrounds, especially early on, about not really reading as much. So I want to find out from you, how how do you think we can encourage children who don't really like to read, or they don't really like reading that much? What do you think, what kind of strategies or ideas you think we can use to help them to get reading more?
Would you like me to go ahead to begin?
Sure. Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So in my classroom, I encourage reading across the genres. Like, for example, realistic fiction, or example, I tell my children about what is the author's purpose for writing a book. The author may try to persuade you, the author may try to inform you, or the author may try to entertain you. I have boys and girls. I have boys who would go to the library and bring a book in the classroom about reptiles, different type of reptiles. I do not like snakes and things like that. But guess what? The boys will come in with the books and they would tell me, did you know? And I'm like, oh no, you teach me, because you can teach me and I can teach you. So tell me about the reptile. Tell me about the snakes. Tell me about these, although I don't like them. But guess what? I'm encouraging them to read more and encouraging them to read different type of genres. Fiction books. Don't just stick with fiction books. Move on to nonfiction books about reality, real life. Move on to other type of books and read the books that they are interested in reading. So just for example, my books, when they start, they wouldn't want to put it down because it's so interesting along the way. It keeps them attached. So basically, that's what I try to encourage the kids to do. Read across the genre, read across their level, and parents, I ask parents all the time to get involved and work with the children, encourage them along the way. And I do want to mention that I do have a couple, like 2 parents on the line. I'm not sure if they're still there. And 1 child, I think 2 children, to tell us a little bit about what they like about the book, and how interested they are in the books.
Okay. So you want, if they are here,
If
you want them to share their experience with the book.
Yes, Carrie, I think Carrie is, and Helen. Don't know if they're
All right.
still here.
Let me see if, all right, so if they are
They
here.
might not be able to
Okay.
unmute. I will
Oh,
see if we can unmute them later. What are
okay.
their names?
Carrie is one,
Should be able to
and then
unmute. Should be able to unmute.
and Helen.
Kerry, if you're there, let us know. And Helen, I'm not seeing anyone with those names.
Okay, you don't know. Okay. Well, I
Okay.
guess maybe, yeah. They were supposed to come on, but that's okay. Yes.
All right.
And I know that Pastor Brian has the little one to read a portion of his book as well. Maybe we could pause here and do the announcements, and then we'll take the reading and the testimonials in the next segment, because our time,
Yes.
oops, our time gone, Papa.
Yes, we can do that. Yes. Yes.
Oh,
Hello?
I see Helen. I see Helen.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, Elijah.
Well, I really like that book that you published, and I feel like it really, when I read it first, it like really impacted me because I really want to be able to connect others to Christ as well, because sometimes they may not know that we have different religions and we can't do fun things that they like. Like in that first book that you had, the party, and that first girl, she was trying to offer the girl who had the party her dad's homemade wine, but the girl was a Christian, so she couldn't drink it. Then the girl got mad, but then all that other stuff happened. But afterwards, the girl explained to the girl who had the wine, and then that girl realized that, oh, I was wrong. I shouldn't have got mad because, I should have asked you first, because, you know, we have to learn that we can control ourselves, and we can like teach each other how to be more like Christ, each and every day. And you can ask them, oh, you want to come to church with me, and like you want to read the Bible with me, and like have Bible study, stuff like that. And that way they can learn more and more like Christ, and maybe someday when we all get back to heaven, we can see their faces, and we're gonna see like each of one of us here in this meeting right now, and like it's really special because it would be nice to see you guys there as well. So
Wow. Thank you. Thank you, Elijah.
oh yeah, sorry, my mom has a class. She's not able to join right now, but she says
Thank
hi.
you. Okay. Thank you so much for joining. Really appreciate it. That's little Elijah giving his version of the book.
You have one more person to share?
I did not hear her. I'm not sure if she's on.
Okay.
Yeah, that's Mom, but
Okay.
I'm not sure she's on.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Oh, you're on.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Good.
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. Good evening, everyone. I was actually on Facebook watching, and then when you said, I'm like, wait a minute, how do I do this? And then saw the Zoom link. So my apologies, everyone. Yes.
Okay.
So for me, the book, because Ilan actually, I let her read it, and then she would give me the synopsis of the book. And she did, when she comes, she did a really good job explaining, but I was like, this book is a teachable moment, like for you to you have, good conversations and to highlight certain things, and because I didn't know, It was a very good story. Let me tell you that. It was a very, very good story. I wish it was like visual because it was that good. Sit down. Come. So this is Elan. She's gonna give her. Where are you?
Aslan,
All right. So what did you think about the book? You read the second edition. All right, the second one. Go ahead.
It was good.
Okay. What did you learn? Give us your take on it. How was it for you? What did you learn? What was it about?
I learned like not to drink and not to like
Peer pressure, maybe?
what's that?
Like when you feel like you have to do something to fit in.
Mhm.
All right, but what was the story about though?
The story was about like the little girl. The little girl
It's doing her birthday party.
was doing her 12th birthday party, and her parents let her be unsupervised the entire time while they watched a movie
The living
in
room
the
or the other room?
in the movie theater room, and then um her the parents start dropping their kids off, and then like some of the girls from her school that she rarely talks to, she invited them, and they were I mean she was surprised that she said yes. I mean they said yes, and then one of the girls like brung brought a blue bag, and she said, the little girl said, "What's inside of the bag?" And then she said, "It's she said, "What are you drinking?" And then she said, "It's alcohol." And then and then after like the parents come, and then wait, and then after uh her her dad comes like in the entertainment room thing, like where she's having a party, and then he comes and tells her that the parents are about to come and that she realizes the time, and then soon after the parents start coming, and then the girl who was drinking uh was like stumbling. Then she hit her head on the concrete thing, and then they had to call 911. And the 911 people, she had a concussion, and the police came, and they they asked people what happened. The people at the party what happened. And then yeah,
What's your favorite part of the story?
uh, where at the start where she gets to like be unsupervised.
Unsupervised, okay. And planned her party. Okay. Okay.
thank you so much. Thank you, Elon, and thank you, Carrie. Appreciate that.
You are welcome. She enjoyed the story though. She did. And it's definitely a conversation piece.
Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome.
These were
All right.
errors that in between, but at the end of the story, it turned out, very well at the very end of the story.
Okay. That's very, very, very good. So I get to understand that we're going to have someone reading a piece of Pastor Lewis's book. Is that correct?
Yes, hi again. I just wanted to first give you a little, I suppose, a contribution. You had asked about how can we get kids to read. I think, especially for those kids who probably don't naturally like to read, I think one thing is to find out what they like to do. What are they interested in doing? Do they like cartoons? Well, and if they like cartoons, maybe they might like comics. So maybe that's a good thing, maybe to see if they're interested in reading a comic book. Children still read comic books. You'll be amazed. And that was one of the things that was used with me, that I saw a comic book. And that's where I started to, learn to read a little bit more, at least be more interested in reading. So it's good to find out what children like and see if, you get something that they can look at and say, okay, well, maybe I don't mind reading up about this thing because I'm interested in it. I like karate. Okay, so you can pick up a book on karate and see, hey, maybe you might learn some moves here. And maybe they may read a few pages and who knows, right? That's just my point. So I have a young lad. I asked him, what did he like about the book? He said, I don't know. I just read it. So I'm going to give him a chance to introduce himself, and he's just going to read two short pages. So we have this young man here. Hey, you want to sit up and introduce yourself? And let them know who you are. What's your name?
Hello, my name is Annette again.
And how old are you?
I'm 7 years old.
A whole 7 years old. Okay.
So I can't be for the police.
So you can be charged by the police. Okay, that's well interesting. Now you cannot. He's one of those fellows who thinks outside the box. Is very brilliant. That is doing an excellent job with him. Would you mind reading just two small pages for us? You want to get closer so that we can hear you? Yeah, go ahead. You can read 2 pages.
David and Dovey love the story. Then they are so happy to hear the voice of their daddy. Papa Dove said it was time to sleep. There are no, so there's no noise, not even a peep. He spread his wings and started to sing their favorite song, the Cuckoo Day. Cuckoo, the day is done. Cuckoo, the day was fun. Cuckoo, the night is not long. Cuckoo said, morning will come. Cuckoo, I'll be that special one. Cuckoo, I'll make your world fun. Cuckoo, I'll stick around. Cuckoo, I'll get the job done.
Very good.
I'm not sure if you all heard him. Basically, he was just reading the last 2 pages of the book where the father would sing their favorite song. They had this song almost on every other page. It's like their own goodnight song. And part of it was him letting them know and make their world fun. And we do not being serious enough. The mom go out, and what does the father do? He brings home pizza, and they all eating ice cream and pizza. And she's upset. Why are you bringing in these kind of foods? But that's how fathers are sometimes. And so, book does give us an ending where the father is acknowledging what his job is all about. Thank you.
Great.
Thank you so much for that. We really like to hear the feedback and how much the children appreciate the book. So I think we should be having some announcements and then we wrap up after, right?
Yes, yes, yes. Well, oh my goodness. It's just so good to hear the children reading the books. That's really, really, really lovely. I love it. I love it. I love it. So thank you so much. It's so great to have these authors with us tonight. All right, our announcements. This week, this month has been all about transformation. And I'm trying to show you my PowerPoint and I'm getting booked. But this month has all been about transformation. And we started earlier in the month with yes, we started earlier in the month with Dr. Are you able to see my slide? Dr. Patricia Morgan. We started earlier with her, and then we had on Mother's Day.
We're not seeing the slides on Faith. We're not seeing the slides.
Yes, soon bring it up. We had Dr. Jacqueline Goldberg. And then last week, we had Professor Charmaine Barrett, and she spoke about the role of the mother in building the mental well-being of our children. I'm having a little technical challenge, sorry about that. And then this week, of course, we have Let's Read Together with our two wonderful presenters and our host, Jevon. Well, next week, and I'm going to have to put this in the chat for you if I can. Next week, we are having a very interesting webinar, and it will be, all right, let me see if I can bring it up again. I'm having a little challenge. All right, are you able to see? Okay, great. So next week, we're having Fixing the Family, absentee fathers, domestic violence, bullying among children. And we have an amazing panel with Sharon Coburn Robinson, Dr. Michael Coombs, Denise Reed Drisdale, and our moderator will be Mr. Byron Buckley. And it promises to be a very interesting webinar. So let's send it out. It is in association with the Association of Christian Communicators and Media, ACCM. So we look forward to that webinar next week. Let's send out the information. And all those JTS students need to be a part of this. All right. Every Wednesday we have prayer meetings. So we look forward to having you this Wednesday. It's the same webinar link. So join us, please. 7 o'clock Jamaica time, 8 o'clock EST or EDT, whichever one you call it. Continue to watch our program on Gear to Live, called Gear to Live TV on Mercy and Truth TV. It's also aired in Trinidad and in about 20 or so countries. Check it out. And please reach out to us if you have someone who needs counseling or who needs a webinar on mental health or anything like that. Call us 876-920-7924 or in the US 347-833-2444. So ciao, that's all for me. I take you back to Jevon and our panel.
All right, thank you. Thank you for those announcements. Sure, we would have taken note of those. Now we are getting ready to close out, but however, there is just one more important question we need to ask our special guest. So we would have heard so much wonderful things about the books, and we would have had the children come on and tell us how much they like the books and what they learned and all these wonderful things. However, we really want to know, how is it if we want to get our hands on these books? How do we go about it? How do we get access to your books?
My books are on Amazon. I know that I had sent a bookmark, and at the bottom of the bookmark, it has the QR code that individuals can just click onto the QR code and it takes them right into Amazon. But if we don't have that bookmark, they can go to amazon.com, www.amazon.com, and type in On Mama's Lap Series. On Mama's Lap Series. Mama, MAMA apostrophe S Lap Series. That's the name of the book.
All right.
So at this moment, my book is not online. It's just strictly hard copy. And if anyone would like to get a copy, you can send me an email at brianjlewis5@gmail.com. That's brianjlewis5@gmail.com. And I can get a forwarding address and we can work out the details. Most likely we'll have to mail it to you. And maybe I may have to get an agent to represent me in Jamaica. I may have to talk to a very dear pastor lady, pastor friend who had invited me to be on this show. Maybe whenever she's coming to Jamaica, she can walk with a few copies and circulate it at this point.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. So, Dr. Joe's book is on Amazon, readily available. I was wondering if you could get Pastor Lewis's email in the chat or something like that so that persons could get in contact with him to get.
Go ahead and put it in the chat, Pastor
Right.
Brian.
So yes, I can go ahead and do that.
Okay, will do.
Yes. So the time has been far spent, and it was wonderful being here to learn about these wonderful books and to hear from these amazing authors. We are looking forward to hearing about the effect that these books would have, and we can already see the impact these books are having on children's life, and we just hope that it will continue to do so. And we would like for these other authors to write even more books to help our young people and children. So with that being said, thank you so much, Pastor Lewis and Dr. Thomas Joseph, for coming on and telling us about these books and giving your time to, just come and share with us in this special event. Thank you so much. And yes.
Also, Javon, can I put my my email address as well? I could give you my email address if you don't have the bookmark. And
sure.
I can autograph. I have copies that I can autograph and send those out in case anyone need that. And my my email address is adorable, ADORABLE NANN _40 at yahoo.com.
Please put that in the chat for us, so that persons can just copy it from there. Pastor Brian has just done so. Will you do that for us, please, Dr. Annette? And I want to add my quota of thank you to you, authors. Thank you for coming, taking the time to share with us the work that you have done. Dr. Annette, I can't wait to read your books. I have read Pastor Brian's book, and I'm looking forward to reading yours as well. So please put your email address there in case somebody on the call here would like to contact you about how they can get a copy if they can't access Amazon. Want to say thank you so very much. It was really interesting hearing the stories of how these books came to be written. and of your own beginnings. It's very interesting. I agree with you, Jevon, that these two are writers today, and they didn't start out as voracious readers. So you see, they are examples to our children that it doesn't matter how you start, it's how you end up that is crucial. And your example, as people have heard it today, that is going to light a spark for some. And they are going to say, like you said, Dr. Annette, I have to get this. I must do this. And look at where you are because you decided to read. That is good. Thank you so much for sharing your lives with us. This is more than we expected, actually. And we want to thank you. Thank you so much, Jevon, for doing an excellent job of interviewing these two.
You're welcome.
You did an
And thanks for
job.
having me.
Yes, we're so glad. So we
Great
want to
job.
pray over you too. We want to pray over your books. And as Jevon said, we just want to ask that God would release more creativity for you, that you will write more books, and many children's lives will be transformed by reading those books. Father, this evening, we thank you for Dr. Annette and Pastor Brian. We thank you that you put within their hearts the desire to write the books that they have written. We thank you, even for Brian's first book that got lost. Maybe he can find that again somehow. Lord, thank you that he did not allow that loss to stop him from creating something that will now go to posterity. We say thank you. Thank you for the impact these stories are making on the lives of children, whether the authors know it or not. We thank you for the parents who will take the time to sit with their children and read these books and have the discussion that the other parents shared here this evening about how the book impacted them. Thank you for the teachable moments that will come about as a result of that. And now, Lord, I just pray your blessing upon Dr. Annette and Pastor Brian, that, Lord, these books they have written will be sold out. They have to reprint and reprint and reprint. The impact will be so great. And Lord, cause your oil to flow upon them, the oil of creativity, that there will be many more books coming out of them. Thank you for the work they are doing, impacting the lives of children and young people. Multiply their efforts, we pray. And for parents on the program this evening, I trust, Lord, that as they have heard of these books, they will make the effort to find these books and have their children read them. Lord, we thank you so much for the work that Choose Life International is doing. Lord, for the various fora that you are taking them into. We thank you, Father. Bless, we pray, all those that were on this call today, the ones that will read, look at this later. Let your name be honored and glorified, we pray. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Amen.
Dr. Faith, I trust you have seen the message from Sylvia Bryan. She says that she's not been receiving the notices. Please take a note of her email address so that she can be added to the mailing list one more time. Ladies and gentlemen, or no, gentlemen, men, yes, and lady, God bless you. Let us bring our time together to a close by taking the countdown. Now, let me tell you, our guests, how this is done. We raise this one hand, and we're counting from 5, well, from 5 to 0, from 5 to 1. Then we tell everybody, shalom, shalom. Okay? So here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Shalom.
Shalom,
Shalom.
shalom, shalom, everybody. God bless you. See you
God
again
bless
next
you.
week. Blessings
Thank
on
you.
you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone. God bless you
God bless
all.
you.